also get percolated. And I don't think that, that political ecology, of course, I understand that it is, for example, quite a sophisticated framework and very, very dynamic, and like thousands and thousands of works. And, kind of the literature is very rich and very robust. But, the essence, the major concepts, for example, the significance or the role of power hierarchies, power relationships in determining, environmental conjunctures, for that matter. So the role of a structure, the role of the state, the role of several other stakeholders, the role of, non-human actors also, for example. So these are key things. These are key things which can be channelized, which can be, disseminated at several levels, including, the school children. So how will you do that? But unfortunately, right now, the environmental studies book, somehow, they are not extremely well equipped to, provide everything together, so that, these environmental aware citizens are actually, kind of can actually get the scope to evolve. So I will give a bad analogy. Don't get angry with me, because I know many of you are supporters of NDA government also. I have no problem with that. I also support a lot of other things, the good things that they do, and I definitely would not support things, that again, this is very personal, so which I feel is superficial, right? Similarly, it's not only about NDA, it's about UPA, it's about all other government, even, the particular political affiliation that I support otherwise. So, and they also have like thousands of problems, and that is why, they are not being able to craft a significant influence, even though the, like, theoretically they're extremely sound, but unfortunately, practically they're not being able to do anything. That is why the state is also suffering. But anyway, so the analogy that I'd like to give is that, if I ask all of you to, or if, we are asked to just stand up for the national anthem before a movie begins, right? So that movie, maybe, it's a different kind of a movie altogether. So let us assume it's an adult movie. So all of us have gone to the film hall to enjoy it, right? And then, suddenly the national anthem starts, and you get up and you have to just, sing, or you just have to, keep your eyes closed or whatever. And for 2 minutes or 1 minute, 1.5 minutes, this national anthem is played. Do you think that's a very, like, ideal mechanism of eliciting nationalism or patriotism? I don't think so. But again, at the same time, the caution is that maybe, if the movie is like that, if the movie is actually conveying a social message, if, for example, it's even like Rang De Basanti. So all of us have gone to watch Rang De Basanti together, and then the national anthem is played. Fair enough, no problem. But all of us have gone, to the film during, a midnight show, and the film is, absolutely about entertainment and other things. And suddenly this national anthem starts. So to an extent, I feel that it's a bit decontextualized. I fail to, really grab the context. So everything has to be a bit nuanced. If you just thrust upon things on someone or on yourself, it cannot work like that. You have to be internally extremely convinced. Then only, you'll be able to follow your behavioral pattern for a long period of time. It will finally turn into a habit. So wherever you go, whatever you do, whichever age you reach, the habit will not leave you, because when you picked up the habit, you are so much convinced internally that no one can take the habit out from you now. So at that level, things need to be crafted, right? So I gave this bhashan because I think that, that all of us have some sort of responsibilities to not only, because during our times, like 5-10 years back, even like, or 15 years back, our parents used to tell us that, you study. It is more important for you to, study and grow and mature, make your career, this thing, fine. But now I think, like, and also the time frame was different. So when we used to, kind of learn things, so the idea was, once we are able to learn a whole chunk of it, so once, if I think that I'm prepared, because, 10 years of training I have got in a particular discipline or domain, then only I have the eligibility to, disseminate, to teach it to others. But now I think situation has changed. So now whatever we are learning, it is a good idea. This is again my personal feeling. You can, kind of criticize me. You can have your own take, no problem. But I feel that whatever we are learning now, and because the whole system, the art system has become so dynamic and full of uncertainties, that whatever we are learning, we can find out innovative mechanisms to share it with everyone at different levels. So the kind of projects that I am, for example, right now investigating, and if they are meant, and if they know, they are definitely meant for the social, actors, or mainly, the marginalized people, the people who are fishers, who are hunter gatherers, and who inhabit very vulnerable coastal zones. So a couple of our projects are actually anchored in this Indian Sundarbans Delta. So for example, we are doing things for them, and not like that. So I'm not saying that we are doing things for them, but they are, and all of us are, we are together. So it's a collective project. So you have to find out innovative ways through which you can really make it participatory. And when I say participatory, I am not using participatory just as a gimmick and to gain vote banks. No, because they have, their knowledge base is so like rich, but we don't have the right to exploit it or exploit that, but rather to come up with ways, interventions through which they can be, definitely, because they should be equal collaborators. But sometimes there is problem in language, sometimes there are problems in attitude, sometimes there are many other problems. So hierarchy is a very bad thing. It works at the cognitive level. You also will not become conscious that when you are actually, show offing and kind of demonstrating your hierarchy. So it's a complex thing. But then a radical change is needed in terms of our mindsets, in terms of our perspectives, in terms of the way we think, and then only collective action, practical actions are possible. So this is a small action that I'm actually expecting from all of you, because I also gave this assignment to one of my batches, and they really came up with a beautiful book, and I shared it with some of my colleagues, and they really told me that this book should be, why don't you talk to the ministry and other people, and this book really should go into the curriculum. So, and I was so happy. So definitely I was not right then eager to do all those things, but I was very happy to see how my students and how together they really thought about, because now political ecology, now anthropology, but how will you make students understand that? So very interesting, innovative ways they actually got reflected in that book. But that time the assignment was not so ambitious, but the book, later I will share the booklet with you, not now, because now you do it in your own, by your own, because otherwise if I share that book with you, you will not, even not like that, but maybe to an extent the imagination will be driven by that book, and I don't want that. So maybe it will be interesting also, like once you complete this assignment, and on the day of your presentation, then I will also, maybe I'll showcase the nature book from my last year's batch, and then you can also I'm not saying make a comparison, but you can just see like what they included in the book, and what you have included in the book, and we can just take a look into it together. So it will be fun. And the good thing is that if these assignments are really good, then my larger plan is that I'll put all these things in our website, so that people can openly access everything. So what if these kind of ideas are still not there in the curriculum, but we can kind of come up with our own things and put it in the web, keep it open access, so that anyone and everyone can actually access it, right? So that is the purpose of giving this particular assignment called this nature book, right? So yeah, so I think there are how many people? 15 people, right? So the 32-page book. Why? Because maybe 2 pages each, and then will be the introduction and the conclusion. And now, an introduction means a preface. So in the preface, so what goes into the preface of a book? What do you think? So, if anyone from the group will be able to mention, what do you think goes in the preface of a book? Mihir, are you there? Mihir Srivastav?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so what do you think goes into the preface of a book?
So, I mean, a preface kind of a very broad outline of what this book is about. Not just the topic, but like the idea behind the book and sort of the.
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So the idea and the rationale and those things, right? And what should ideally go into the conclusion? And that this is also not hard and fast. Maybe if you don't want to have I mean come up, I mean if you don't want to add a concluding section, that's also fine. That's so whatever, so I'm leaving the rest with you. And like just design it so it can have like stories, information, content in the form of like just textual content, or there can be say whatever. So it's absolutely open, but just you have to keep in mind that the book should be interesting, very very interesting, and definitely, as I mentioned, that after reading the concepts and after going through the book, they will internalize things that you have internalized now. Is it clear, all of you? So are most of the group members here right now? Sankal, Soham, Aman, Ankit, Gayatri, Dhruv, Ramanathan, Shiva Sumant, Sudarshan, Pranav, Harshvardhan, Mihir, Shiv Shankar, Anal Jyoti, Anamika, Priyanjit. So all of you are here. Not all of you must be, but some of you are here.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, only three of you.
Yes, ma'am. I'm also here.
I
Okay,
am
so
there.
yeah, okay. So is it clear now? This book, this
So
assignment?
for our presentation, we'll present the parts that we have written, or like how will it
Or
be?
maybe the ideal will be that it will be really good if you have everything ready by 29th March. Why I have kept the submission date, I mean, on April 4 is due to the fact that if you get some, or if you receive some feedback, some opinions maybe from your friends and from me, from Manish, then maybe you can, if you think you can include those things, those like comments, and then finalize the draft and send it to me. That is why I have kept it like 4th April. But ideally, from your side, the book should be prepared by 29th March. And you, when you are like to make your I mean to keep things easier at your end, I think it's a good idea that you can just I mean all of you can just discuss your part. So maybe finally it has to be a PDF. So how we want to present, that is up to you, but we will be eagerly looking forward to see most of the like content, I mean everything, the entire product, actually the end product during the presentation. Is it clear? You have like any counter opinion? Is it clear, all of you? Possible?
Yes, ma'am. It's possible. Once we discuss it among the group.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely. Yeah. Exactly. That's the idea. You have to work in group and discuss it. And if there are questions, if there is anything, if any glitch, anything you want to discuss with me, you can write an email to me. So I'll just answer it. All right.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah. So the second assignment is about, nature, culture, livelihoods, intersections, case studies from India. And you can see that there are, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 students. So 8 case studies and introduction and conclusion again. So, and the presentation date is April 4 and report submission. So this you can use PPT to present before the class. And when you are submitting the report should be in the form of a PDF or Word document, whatever. So, and this is about like, I think Shreyoshi talked about this, right? So Shreyoshi covered this topic to an extent, right? So what did she discuss? You remember, some of you? What was Shreyoshi's topic the last week, Monday? What did she
Art forms like Patachitra and all.
Patachitro and like mask making, Chorida. Did she also talk about Chorida? Did
Yes,
she
ma'am.
only talk about Pingla or both Pingla and Chorida?
She talked about both of the places.
All right. So these are very interesting case studies because, and she talked about these two because she has field experience. So one of my first PhD student, she completed her PhD just last month. She got awarded now, not last month, January. So she has now got the degree also, and it is a very interesting topic on this chow mask making practices. So the chow dance entirely depends on this mask, and this mask basically is made from ecosystem services, from nature actually, but lot of changes. It's not such a linear story, and it's a very fascinating case of this village where there are like 308 households who are all mask makers. And this, if you go to the UNESCO intangible heritage site, and you see there I also very much like their website, and their design, because it's a kind of an augmented reality. So you take the cursor in the points, and you, for example, Chorida will also appear, and you take the you roll over the mouse on the on Chorida, for example, so you'll see all very important pieces of information and all other interesting details about this intangible cultural heritage. So the key idea is that there are different types of this kind of cultural practices in our country. So where you will not be able to again separate nature from culture. Right. So, for example, if you see the Millennium Ecosystem Assessment Framework of 2005, so there, it's a very, very like robust framework, because 600 something, 632, I guess, scientists together they developed it. It's like IPCC report. So Millennium Ecosystem Assessment. So there, for the first time in 2005, ecosystem or nature was actually classified across four kinds of services: provisioning services, regulating services, and then supporting services, and cultural or aesthetic services, right? So, and then there's a lot of literature on the provisioning services. So provisioning services mean when people directly draw livelihoods from nature, from the benefits that nature provides us with. But within the context of South Asia, what we see is that nature and culture becomes inseparable. So for example, this chow dance, it is a cultural manifestation, it's a cultural form, but the mask is the major equipment, if I can say like that, equipment which is actually used for this chow dance. Now mask is basically, if you take a look into the traditions across historical ages, from when this chorida when this chow dance became so popular, so it's mainly a dance form in from Orissa and Bengal. So if you take a look into the history, we'll see that this dance form from medieval period, only late medieval period, it got formulated, and then it spread across other regions, and it started becoming popular. So from then on only, people started making masks through the use of clay and different and the colors, mainly from leaves and barks of trees, and all other various ingredients. And then there has been an evolutionary process, and this is basically a cultural manifestation. But at the same time, people they drop because Purulia, where this chow dance is most important, because Purulian chow form is the most significant form of the chow dance form. So Purulia otherwise is a very, very poverty stricken belt, right? And one of the most least developed, one of the least developed districts in West Bengal, because it also has a very rugged topography and dry weather, and it's not fertile, and the temperature and climate are not very conducive for the practice of agriculture and those things. Lot of water crisis, the water crisis has become extremely severe. So Purulia is very drought prone as well. So these people also depend directly on their livelihoods from this performative art or dance form, right? So when people are depending on their livelihoods from this cultural art form, so then what happens? See, the Millennium Ecosystem Assessment Framework, that classification, provisioning services and cultural services, that classification seem that classification does not seem to kind of hold ground at all, because the boundary gets blurred, because these people, they are absolutely passionate dancers. On the other hand, this mask and nature is also directly providing livelihoods to them. So nature, culture, livelihoods, everything seem to be interrelated, right, with each other. So there can be several other case study in different forms, and I'm not only saying culture means only dance or art. It can be several other things. It can be water management techniques, it can be like agrarian practices, it can be many other things. So I want your group, this group, to basically focus on this focus on 8 case studies, because you can see you are 10 members, so 8 of you would be concentrating on each case study. And again, it's a group assignment, so each one, so even when you are selecting the case studies, all of you should do it together, right? And don't try to do it at the individual level. That is not the purpose. And there will be 2 volunteers, there will be 2 members who will be kind of presenting the introductory section, and then another group member will be concluding the presentation. So this is the structure. This remains the structure for topic 2. Is it clear? So Pankaj, Akshat, Jakteshwar, Omi, Vaibhav, Manish, Aman, Fiza, Aryan,
Yes, ma'am.
Mubasir. Yeah. Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So clear, assignment
Yes,
clear.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Absolutely.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So again, when you are after your first meeting is over, if there are questions for me, please ask questions and I'll answer you over email. Right? Now, coming to the third group, third like assignment. Sorry. So design a prototype of an exhibition on the Anthropocene. Right? I'll be explaining this.
Ma'am,
What
I
is
had
this
one
again?
query.
So, please.
Ma'am, the presentation for the 4th, that is the on 1 week workshop. It is on April 11, and our end sem is from 7th to 1 second, ma'am. It is from 7th, 13th, and during that period also there is written that no classes will be held.
All right. So when are you typically sitting for the end semester?
7th April to 13th.
No,
April.
but what happened during the mid semester? Like the time, I'm asking the time slots.
Usually it is during the subject hours of the class.
That is what. So I will not be taking any end semester, right?
Yeah.
So consider it as your end semester. Should that be a problem?
No.
What do you think? Whole class? Because I am not taking any end semester. I'm not formally taking any end semester. So mainly like a whole lot of weightage on this group presentation, but you also have to sit for 2 tests. So I don't know exactly test or how they are going to manage it. So Roktima and Sheoshi, both of them will come into the picture now from next week. And they will give you assignments. So maybe they will ask you to submit it to them by email or whatever. I don't know what their plans are. So they will discuss it with me. And they also give very interesting assignments, so which you will enjoy, because and there will be no end semester in that manner. So if I consider this presentation on the 11th, so will it be a problem for all of you? All of you, because all of you have to present. The group has to present, and all of you have to be there in class. So what do you think? It's feasible, right? Because it's environmental humanities class in any case. What do you think? What's your idea? What happened?
Okay, ma'am, it is fine.
It is fine. So for all of you also, Abhijit, thank you. So others, what are your comments?
Yes, ma'am. We can attend, right?
Yes.
Yes,
So,
ma'am. We can consider it as an end sem. So
Yeah, and this should be like it should not be hectic. In fact, I think it will be a break from your otherwise mundane test routine. So if all of you agree, then I think like we'll definitely freeze April 11. What do you think, all of you? Aman, Pranav, Omi, what do you think? It should work, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Okay, then let us keep it 11th only, right? Okay. So we were discussing this topic on the exhibition. Yeah. So for this group, the idea is that, for example, you are supposed to kind of. So, for example, if you got an assignment. The assignment is that you have to. You will be actually showcasing an exhibition. The theme is the Anthropocene. This exhibition will go on for maybe like 15 days, and anyone and everyone can come and visit it, as it happens in the Nehru Museum, for example. So Nehru Museum, maybe take for example, assume the Nehru Museum is the space where this exhibition will go on for a period of 2 to 3 weeks. And anyone will come, students will come, faculty members can come, any other citizen, staff people, or all other people, who are residents here, they will just go there and take a look into the exhibition. So it's not so formal, but anyone and everyone are allowed entry. And so there will be always 2-3 people on a rotational basis, so that if when people will come during the like exhibition hours, then if they ask you something, or maybe you can also in any case give them a tour on this, and that this part conveys this thing, and this is about this idea, and so how this entire idea has been conceptualized, and why do you think, and what was the rationale behind organizing this exhibition, what do you want actually people to be aware of, so everything. So there will be always 2-3 volunteers or 2 volunteers at a time for this like 3 weeks, who will be able to explain and elaborate, like the poster presentations or other exhibitions as well. Now you have to develop a prototype. So how you will be developing it, again, it's up to you. But a good prototype, an ideal prototype, will have everything: the layout, the contents, the themes, why these themes, and all these themes finally as snippets together to be finally weaved into a composite web. So the class and myself, we would like to see the prototype. We would like to hear about the prototype that you will be designing, so that we can also give you some feedback, because when then the exhibition will be implemented, you can also include those comments from us. So imagine that this will be happening. So you have to imagine that this is a real scenario, and this exhibition will be taking place during the summer vacation, during summer. So for now, the first prototype, the very inclusive, comprehensive prototype, your group has to prepare and get it approved before the class. Possible? So who are the group members? Ritik, Rohit, Ayushi, Abhay, Abhishek, Ananta, Dhanraj, Srikiran, Govind, Muhammad, Yatharth, Jay. Some of you are here?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Yes, ma'am.
So, okay, so the assignment is clear. Again, you sit with your group, all of you sit together, and if you have questions, write an email to me. More or less it's clear, right? What is expected? It's clear or not clear? How do I take the silence?
Can you briefly explain the context, ma'am?
No, I thought
We are a little bit clear, but still confused.
Acha. So would anyone like to jump in and elaborate on it before Muhammad? Shrikaran, possible for you? Shrikaran? Where are you, Shrikaran? Are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
So will you be able to explain Muhammad quickly? What is expected? Shrikiran? What happened? You could understand the assignment by yourself. Could you understand it? I cannot hear you. What happened? Okay, type it in the chat box if your mic is not working. Anand? Anand, are you there? What is happening? I cannot hear you. Anand, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so can you explain to Muhammad quickly?
Ma'am, actually, I'm also a little bit confused. Like, topic
Why?
was new.
So who is not confused? Ayushi, I think you are more clear. You are clearer on this. Ayushi, are you there?
Oh, yes, ma'am, I'm here.
So Ayushi, quickly explain. Try it out. What am I asking?
Oh, we have to make a group project on the Anthropocene, a prototype.
Right, and this project is about what? So is it just a like report? Do I want a report on the Anthropocene? Roshan, are you there? Roshan? Ayushi, bolo.
Yes, ma'am.
Ayushi, would you like to continue a bit more?
Oh, no, ma'am, it's fine.
Roshan, तुम समझे assignment?
Yes, ma'am. I mean, they have to design something for like which can be like put in an exhibition. I mean,
मतलब, for example, you are planning an exhibition.
So planning exhibition.
An exhibition on this particular theme called the Anthropocene. Mohammed, Anthropocene पता है ना? Mohammed?
Yes, ma'am.
You know Anthropocene, right?
Yes, ma'am.
तो अभी this is the theme for your exhibition. कि जैसे कि next मतलब मई में for example नेहरू म्यूजियम एक exhibition उसमें एक exhibition किया जाएगा on the Anthropocene. ठीक है, topic A है. तो all these group members, I think there are 10 people, 10 students. तो ये 10 स्टूडेंट्स को इंस्टीट्यूट ने बोला कि चलो एनवायरमेंट प्रॉब्लम तो इतना है, चैलेंजेस है, ये वो, तो बहुत एनवायरमेंट तो इज अ हॉट टॉपिक नाउ. सो ऑल ऑफ यू हैव काइंड ऑफ कंप्लीटेड दिस एनवायरमेंटल ह्यूमैनिटीज कोर्स नाउ. तो उसमें क्या पढ़ाया जाता है? बहुत एंथ्रोपोसिन सुन लिया हम लोगों ने. तो चलो आप लोग मिलके एक एग्जीबिशन करो नेहरू म्यूजियम में, ताकि स्टूडेंट्स आएंगे, उसमें टीचर्स आएंगे, कोई भी पासर भाई आएंगे, तो वो पूरा एकदम स्पेस को घूम के देखेंगे कि यहाँ पे एंथ्रोपोसीन का एग्जीबिशन चल रहा है. तो after they come and visit this exhibition, they will definitely be able to gain a lot of insights about what this Anthropocene all about, and they will be aware of it. So this whole idea is to generate awareness about the Anthropocene. But when it is an exhibition, it has to be done in a creative way, right? है कि नहीं? तभी तो आएंगे ना लोग एग्जीबिशन देखने, क्या?
Yes, madam.
हाँ, तो उसी का प्रोटोटाइप बना, एक प्रोटोटाइप बनाओ पीपीटी में. जैसे कि सोचो कि इंस्टीट्यूट ने तुम्हें बोला कि it has come from the authorities, 4-5 people, from dean, from director, from everyone, right? So they have asked you now to come and meet them, and then you are showing it, because the money will be theirs, because exhibition में पैसा लगता है, तो वो पैसा इंस्टीट्यूट देंगे तुम्हें. So but as institute will be spending money on this, so institute will definitely be interested to first see how you are designing it. So institute will be interested to see the design. So that design you have to place before the class. अब clear हुआ?
Do we need to make any model?
क्यों बोले अभी? ये तो क्लू है. Do it in your own way.
Like
इसी में तो creativity add करना है. Yes, so what I will be helping you with is that in making sure that you have understood the topic. After that, it's absolutely flexible. कैसे करना है वो खुद बस सोचो कि मैंने you are actually presenting this in front of the this authorities who have asked you to do this. So how will you do this? So how you have to impress them also. And after seeing your prototype, they have to say, "अरे वाह, बहुत बढ़िया." So it's not the exhibition, but it's the prototype of the exhibition that you will be presenting in front of, so that they have confidence on you and they say, "All right, ठीक है." fund दे देंगे. Is it clear now? Huh?
No, ma'am. Like, so we need to make a presentation on what we are going to make.
Exactly.
Okay.
And I have given you all these like assumptions. Like Nehru Museum is the venue. The exhibition will go on for the 2 to 3 weeks, and the theme is the Anthropocene, and everyone is the audience. All of anyone and everyone, inside and outside the campus. और अगर ये exhibition अच्छा हुआ, तो it will get lot of media coverage and lot of many other all incentives. Huh? Possible?
Like we need to make a presentation, or we need to make some model, ma'am. Like
that is up to you. I leave it to you. Whether you will be using PPT, whatever. How you will present it is absolutely your group's decision and discretion. Fine. I have no preference for that.
Okay.
I am interested to see, all of us interested to see the prototype. All right. Clear now, all of you, all the group members? Ayushi, Shrikar and Anand, clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So when you are doing it, if again any question, ask me. The final presentation will be on, yes. So design a detailed brochure for a 1-week workshop on environmental humanities, right? So this is simple. So you have to prepare a brochure. The brochure can be 5 pages. The brochure can be 10 pages. The brochure can be 4 pages, whatever it is. But the brochure again has to be so interesting, so exciting that it will actually, it will attract international attention and acclaim. So people all over the world will be extremely interested and excited to participate and to get involved in this like course or in this workshop actually that you will be kind of conducting and organizing. So you people will be actually organizing this workshop. It can be hybrid, it can be online, it can be offline. So again, I leave this to your discretion, because now on offline is also possible. So that that option, thankfully, fingers crossed, is there for us now. So and now as the situation again gradually is getting switched to the offline mode, it does not mean that the online option is not available. If you think that you want to do it absolutely digital, you can do it, because you want more and more international participants. It's meant for people across the world, from even students studying at the Stockholm Resilience Center can get attracted by your brochure. They can also think that they will learn a lot. And the best institutes of environmental humanities, the students from there, they can be interested in this. The other institutes which are not best, but they that is why they want other like institutes and other programs to get enrolled in other programs, because their institute is not that good. So they have to depend on other programs for developing their skill sets. So you can definitely attract that audience. So maybe some teachers teaching, and the instructors who are teaching environmental humanities, they also will get interested. So you have to prepare the brochure in such a way. So again, I am leaving this up to you. So who is your audience, that you decide. Whether you just want to keep it open for the master's level or graduate level students or scholars or teachers or everyone, that is up to you. But the brochure, the way you will be designing the brochure, you have to do a task TNA, which is good TNA analysis. TNA is like a task, need, and audience analysis. So that brochure has to reflect that TNA analysis, task, need, and audience analysis. And so prepare the brochure. So it's about a workshop. Maybe again in June you are planning the workshop, or maybe July you are planning the workshop, and you design the brochure. So how you want to make the brochure, whether there will be some very evocative and provocative illustrations or picture, or the themes. Definitely it's a 1 week. So don't forget, it's a 1 week workshop. So how also you are going to structure it. So what will be covered each day? So would it just be like online or offline or hybrid teaching and exchange mode, or there can be some other elements in this? Whatever it is, that is again up to you. But we need an exciting brochure. So immediately when we see the brochure, the whole class will say that, yes, I would like to participate here. I would like to get myself enrolled in this very exciting environmental humanities course that the students, or workshop, sorry, that the students of IIT BTech level are organizing. Yeah, possible, all of you?
Ma'am, I had some queries. What will be the page limit of the brochure? Means
Nothing.
page...
I am not closing it. Closing any. I'm not being rigid on it. It remains flexible. On you, up to you.
And how we will present the brochure?
Again, up to you. But again, like the nature book, the ideal thing is that you have to present the brochure.
Means like how will involve everyone in presenting the brochure, right?
That you have to think, right? You do a brainstorming. That you think how best you will be able to do that, no?
Yeah.
How many of you are there? 10. Pradeep, Prakash, Ranveer, Ravi, Shivam, Abdul, Aman, Arunendra, Shivam, Suhas, sorry, Abhijit, Gopal, 12. All of you are here. Some of you.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So yes, so whether you want to involve everyone, or maybe you during the presentation time, maybe 4, 5, 6 people are presenting, and then when we are having questions or Q&A, then other people can take up the question answer, whatever. So again, I leave it up to you. I leave it to you, and how you are going to work on the presentation mode also. You have a discussion on this. After the discussion, again, if you need some suggestions from me, if you are hesitating on few points, you really need clarifications on it, so you can just ask me. I'll help you, right? So the assignment is clear or not?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am, it's clear.
So Babiji, why are you sounding so low? You are worried?
No.
Huh? No or yes?
No.
You have
No,
to be
ma'am.
extremely, courageous. Because when I joined this institute like 6 years back, and they told me what will you be teaching? Coming from a history background and then social science, a bit of social sciences. What kind of thing will you teach for mainly the BTech students? And what kind of scholars are you expecting? Research scholars. This is absolutely a science and tech institute. So, for example, I said that, sir, I am interested in teaching floating a course on water, which I would like to entitle as Beyond H2O. So some of them, they laughed also at me that what is this Beyond H2O? Water is H2O. How can water be beyond H2O? But now see, it is actually drawing a lot of attention, and now people are interested more in hydrosocial and beyond H2O than water as H2O. So now people understand the importance of water as water beyond H2O than water as H2O, because this beyond H2O also encompasses what H2O is, but then also what how water is also not only H2O, not only restricted into H2O, because understanding water only from this H2O perspective, it's nothing but just a tunnel vision, pigeonhole kind of an approach, right? But to perceive water beyond H2O, it needs some sort of courage and excitement and passion, by yourself. So always you have to be very high. So don't need to worry at all. Propose whatever you feel like proposing. Maybe that on that particular day, it may seem and sound a bit like, how do I say, not mad, but maybe, out of the box. But out of the box ideas work. And these are the ideas that are actually radical and help us to reimagine and rethink categories in ways that can actually be very meaningful, for people, for all of us, and for the whole world that we are actually inhabiting these days. Okay, Abhijit.
Yes, ma'am.
Bas. So ठीक है, I think like it's clear. So it's 12 also now. I'll start, do the case study, complete HUPE, the the theme which I'll be doing with you next, historical urban political ecology, tomorrow. So tomorrow we have 2 hours. So the whole topic, theoretical framework, the case study, question answers, everything will be done in those 2 hours. All right. So I'll meet you all at 8. Please be present because otherwise you'll be missing something. And I will definitely share maybe some video lectures and PPTs, etc. with you. But if you are there in class, the way you will be able to, resonate and relate to you, that will not be the case if you just access reading materials. Yeah, Aman?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, we have completed last week's class summary, Monday's class summary, but can we submit it within the next 2 days? Because we are planning to do much more than just text.
Definitely, please go ahead. Please.
Yes.
Take 2-3 days, no problem. And who would be there? So today we actually did not discuss anything. So for today's class, I don't think we need a volunteer, right? So, but tomorrow's class, I will assign 6 volunteers for tomorrow's class. Shaurodeep and Amit. So please remind me that for tomorrow's class, there will be 6 volunteers.
Sure, ma'am. Sure.
And sorry, I took the name of Manish and because I confused it with science humanism. Also, Shaurodeep and Amit, they are my research scholars also. And as I was appreciating my research scholars, so Amit and Shaurodeep are also very, very how do I say, very good, hardworking, sincere, research scholars who provide a whole lot of support to the entire environmental humanities team and research group. All right.
Without nothing is impossible.
Yes, ma'am. That's true.
অনেক ভালোবাসা হয়েছে আমাদের এখন থাকার পাবলিক ডিসপ্লে অফ অ্যাফেকশন।
You are our captain of the ship.
No. So we have